It's the question that has plagued mankind since, I believe, Adam and Eve.
Yes.
What do women want?
It is the question for the ages.
It's
a question I've been asking for years.
Yes.
I have not yet figured out the equation.
You've gotten some answers, but unfortunately they were the wrong answers.
The wrong answers.
Yes,
That's
you
right.
and me both, Brian.
I'm going down the wrong path.
Well, I think we've got the solution here. And it's not just about male-female relationships. It's also, this is a political question because there's a war on women.
I've heard that.
So what do women really want? That's the name of the book by co-authors Anne-Marie Murrell, Morgan Brittany, and Dr. Gina Loudon. Two of those three, Anne-Marie and Gina, are right here in studio. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
We're so happy to be here.
Morning.
It's so good to have you, ladies. And, of course, we should also plug your website, Politichicks. It's politichicks.com or .tv, where you guys do some great work, great video work. You go to all the conferences and interview everybody, and it's always from this, conservative female perspective, which is not a voice we hear enough of, I don't think.
And we are as grassroots as they come. These are women across the United States that are working hard to make change.
So, Anne-Marie, in a thumbnail, answer the question of your book. What do women really want?
Faith, family, and freedom. That kind of summarizes what we're all about. And we love men. We're not male bashers. We love real men. We love men. We celebrate men and we celebrate women. Women for being women and not trying to be like men and vice versa.
Do you think that that's part of the problem of the new political messaging that's so dominant in the media right now from, more progressive side of the equation from women, is that women are trying to match or compete with men rather than just be women in their own right?
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to just wipe out gender completely. They don't want to be anything. There's no he, there's no she. It's just we. Kind of a big giant glob of just people.
In the cover of your book, you say it proves that women can live out their faith without compromising their convictions. Women can be strong without emasculating their husbands and sons. Women can be on the front lines while remaining truly feminine. It is what women really want. That message is so counter to what we hear in mainstream media and many portions of our pop culture.
You were kind of tired of the old feminists. We say we should just cast off that old feminism and be the new face of what is truly feminine. Because real women, as Anne-Marie said, we like real men. Real women feel like we can compete in the marketplace. We don't need government regulating our pay. Real women feel like we can make decisions for our children's school, unlike the invasion of Common Core that we've seen recently. And real women feel like we can make choices that actually embrace the gift of life and things like that. So we have just kind of been listening to these women all around the country who are part of our group, Politichicks, and we asked them, what do women really want? And it's something that has been such a focus of ours, and we realized that the mainstream media absolutely has no clue what women really want. So that's why we decided to write the book.
I mean, the mainstream media is sometimes, when you talk about women's issue, you think of what shows like The View. Does that even get close to what real women in America are thinking?
Of course, Rosie O'Donnell represents every woman I know.
I mean, in all fairness, they're not middle America, at least at this point. I know they're doing some recasting, and you never know what will happen, but there is no voice for, I live on the West Coast, so I'm not bashing East Coast people. We're both, California girls. But I can say that both of us spent a large portion of our life in the South and the Midwest, and we feel like we have a little
In reality.
In reality. We feel like we have, I don't want to speak for you, Anne-Marie, but our finger on the pulse of women that are just really out there trying to do it all, really trying to get the best of what life has to offer, and that it's the old school feminists that are taking that away from us.
That's Dr. Gina Loudon, and she is in studio with us along with Anne-Marie Murrell. They're co-authors of What Women Really Want. And if you have questions for the Politichicks, you can chime in here, 888-630-9625. If you have a very specific question about what women want, behave yourselves out there. Let's talk about guns for a minute, because I keep hearing, I have a lot of friends here on the right and on the left, frankly, who are mothers, and they say that mothers look at the gun issue much differently than fathers or men or single women for that matter. But mothers are worried about their children when they go to school, and so the gun issue has become this wedge issue that I think Democrats are like. You look at Michael Bloomberg and his group, Mothers Against Guns, and mothers in favor of gun control. How does the gun issue factor into what women really want?
Well, the gun issue is very basic. It's a freedom issue. It's also a constitutional right, by the way, that's not to be infringed. But
Imagine that.
yeah, but I think there are enough women out there that have felt threatened at certain points in their life, whether it's a stalker, an ex-husband, an abusive person, just a plain creeper. I know
ISIS.
We kind of have ISIS, but it's not just even about personal defense and protecting yourself and your children if you choose to do it. And I think that's where there's kind of a lie that's propagated out there, is that if women can have guns, then all women will have to have guns. Not true. But just because you don't want a gun, please don't take away my right to step in and protect you when you're at a restaurant or at church.
Is that a regional thing, though? Because I know here on the East Coast, if you talk about maybe carrying a weapon, women's eyes get just big, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But being from Texas, when I go back home, I know a lot of women who are packing heat,
Oh, heck yeah.
and it's just like yeah, so what? It's such a dramatic difference between the way it is viewed in some parts of our country and the way it is viewed in this particular area.
Once again, it's a reality issue. It's about understanding. If you just trust blindly that the police will take care of you when you call to help, if your home is being invaded, that's the problem. Now, when I was a Democrat, I actually believed that, said Gina Loudon. And sorry.
Emery, let me ask you.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what happens to women like you that come out and proclaim that you're a conservative or a Republican. Same sort of thing happens to black people who say that they're conservative, that they cut against the grain.
Yeah.
You're an actress. You're a former beauty pageant winner from Miss
Homecoming
Texas.
queen.
Exactly.
Well, you live in Texas; it's a prerequisite. You're not allowed to not be in at least one.
So do you get do you get the degrading sort of, she's not smart? You know how Sarah Palin apparently
Oh my gosh!
is, right?
Have you seen my Twitter feed, Larry? I'm not kidding. It's especially been horrible lately because we're talking about feminists. Boy, they don't like that. When other women criticize them, they don't understand that, and they are so tolerant as long as you toe the line and believe every thought that comes out of their mind.
And if you have a different opinion, if you look at it in a different way,
Lord help you.
You cannot. You're in their crosshairs.
Yeah.
But what's
If
interesting
they carried guns, you'd be in their crosshairs.
I mean, tell me
yes.
some of the vicious things that they say to you. If a man said it to a woman, they would be, it would be a hate crime, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But women can say whatever they want to other women,
To
apparently.
conservative
feminists.
women,
Oh,
yeah.
And I mean, the words that they've been using are just evil.
Oh, and diseases wished on us and threats.
Yeah.
Oh, my
and
God.
all
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we just want to be a vocal part of the conversation about all of this. If they were really tolerant, wouldn't that be okay?
Yeah, tolerance goes one way. All right,
Yes.
Brian, you mentioned The View.
Right.
We
have a question
We have
about
news
that, yeah.
about The View. There is a new cast, including a conservative voice on the panel that I'm using air quotes when I say
wow.
conservative. We'll throw that by our guest, Dr. Gina Loudon and Anne-Marie Murrell. Their new book, What Women Really